Y'all, order in the court. Order in the court. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Attorney Simone, your legal bestie. You have tuned into another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? With Attorney Simone, your legal bestie. And I have just spent the last few hours reading over these Tyrese documents. And child, I'm mad at him like he's my client. I know, I'm mad at him like he's my baby daddy. Okay, and I don't even have any kids. This man is absolutely ridiculous. And this is totally egregious. So I want to make sure, come on in here. I know it took me a minute. I know it's a little bit late, but I promise y'all it will be worth it because there's a lot of blogs that are talking about this. I'm sure I pulled the record, y'all. So hit the tip jar if you can. Hit the tip jar is the Cash App Miss Redwine right there below. You see that? Because I didn't pull all these records. I had to pay for them, y'all, because we're going to have the real deal. Now, and what I'm most astonished about, we're going to go through it all. So we're going to go through why he was arrested today for failure to pay child support, exactly how much that amount is. Y'all, I even pulled his worksheet. I have the exact amount of money that he told the court he made monthly versus how much his ex-wife says she made monthly and what he wants to pay based on that. Yeah. For the last 4 years. Okay. So these people, they married her. The ex-wife is Samantha Gibson. They married Valentine's Day of 2017, had their child a year later. I guess during COVID, she was about sick of his behind and filed for divorce September 2020. Okay. This divorce was messy and it took like 2 years to drain out. Do you know from the date she filed for divorce until currently, this man was only paying $2,236 a month. $2,236 a month. That didn't even include daycare. Daycare was an additional $1,274 a month. And part of his argument is he thinks this is too much money for a 5-year-old that the baby should get less. Shut up. Oh, sorry. Then drop my little gavel holster. Un momento. Yes. Let me give you those numbers again. So if you are joining now, we are talking about Tyrese. We are talking about why he was arrested today, and we got receipts. I'm going to just give you a sampling of the receipts I'm going to put on the screen. We're going to get up in there, okay? We're going to get up in there. This is the order from today where the court has said, Mr. Tyrese, we done told you 11 times, do right by your child, okay? But you done got up in here acting a whole fool. This woman has had to file at least three different motions for contempt to get you to pay what you're supposed to be paying. And you're only giving $22,236 a month. Here's the crazy thing. The car note for the car he gave his older daughter. So he has two daughters. He has a daughter with a woman he likes and a daughter with a woman he hates. Now, if you know any man who hates their baby mama, a lot of times when they hate their baby mama or their ex-wife, unfortunately, they take it out financially on the child. And that's what it looks like here. So I'm going to give you guys the facts. Okay. Because I'm hot. I don't know. I hate it when rich people want to do wrong by their kids. Because we do all this talk in our community about generational wealth. Well, step one is making it so that your children have access to good education and a variety of things. Don't have to be moving from apartment to apartment because your 6-figure a month behind only wants to pay $2,236 a month in child support. Boy, go somewhere. Say it with me. $2,236. This is insane to me. I'm going to read some of these comments real quick as you guys are coming in. It says, I wish they would lock up some of these regular people. And hey, guys, I know some people are saying that's a lot of money. It can be a lot of money. It's a whole bunch of money if you work at the post office. This is a man who I'm so mad. I'm going to be jumping, but I'm going to do my best to make it make sense in the words of my homeboy in his channel and show you this part. Cause let me see, which one was this one? Hold on. We're going to jump into it because this is the part that just really pissed me off. So it says here from the court order, I'm just going to read it. The court hereby orders that the respondent, which is Tyrese, shall be taken in the custody and incarcerated until such time as he purges himself of contempt by making a payment in the purge amount, or until further order of this court. The purge amount is $73,525.73. This amount should be presented certified funds, blah, blah, blah. Now, context matters. So note, this is because this fool been playing around with the court for 2 years now. This did not accumulate over 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. No. He been playing in the court's face. He's been playing in his ex-wife's face for a while. And they said he didn't want to pay his first wife either. Now, when I say context matters, I'm going to first show you, this is his posting he made yesterday or the other day on social media, knowing he was about to get locked up. Why? Because the court had been told him, okay? The court had been told him, y'all are getting Mimi. Mimi is me with my girls and my friends at brunch. Y'all are not getting Courtroom Simone. Courtroom Simone goes to courtrooms, okay? I get paid my hourly fee, which is like a lot of money, and then you get Courtroom Simone. You got your homegirl right now. So if you don't want to talk to you don't want your homegirl that's a lawyer, that's your legal bestie, to give you the breakdown, then this is not the target market for you. Okay, you're not the target market. Get off of this channel. Here's what we got. So this is what this fool says. This is non-alcoholic wine, by the way. It's just in a glass. Okay. Oh, wow. The title says, Tyrese reveals he may be thrown into jail due to a judge demanding he appear in court for child support. He alleges the judge tried to illegally make him pay $10,690 in child support for a 5-year-old. And did. Judge sure did. We're going to read the caption. Tyrese says, at 9 a.m. in Atlanta, I might be arrested in court. Samantha's lawyer, Adam Glinken, and William Alexander, who are besties with the judge, Kevin M. Farmer. All of these names are very public knowledge because they are very public judges and lawyers. They demanded that I come to court, cancel my press and media for my 1992 movie and my new Beautiful Pain album interviews, and demanded that I come to court. We are appealing all of his rulings and already have tried to get this judge thrown off the bench twice. The second time, we tried to get him recused from the bench. He actually denied his own request to be thrown off the bench. Imagine that. Now, first of all, one of the weird, goofy things about a recusal motion, which is asking the judge to step down from the case, it always goes to the judge first. That's the law of every state in any state. You ask the judge, hey, will you step down first? 9 times out of 10, the judge is going to say, no, stupid. And here the judge said, no, stupid. And therefore wasn't recused. But also, this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And we're about to find out why. All right. So he also talks about that the lawyers have illegally are forcing him or trying to get him to pay this $10,000. Now, here's for a 5-year-old. His issue is he feels like this is too much money to pay a 5-year-old. Meanwhile, he's paying something similar for his older daughter, who is now about 17. Names Policy has asked, do I think the judge is being impartial? Abso-freaking-lutely. And I'm going to show you the rulings. I have the opinion. Y'all, I have his divorce decree. Y'all want to see his divorce decree? If you want to see his divorce decree, y'all better hit that like. We got 800 people watching. I'm not showing y'all the divorce decree. Okay. Till we get at least 500 likes in here. I'm not playing with y'all today. This is some good tea. Now, you come here for the legal tea. Get to sipping, hit that like button though, because this, this ain't free. Student loans ain't gonna pay themselves. Here we go. Let me see. Let me just confirm the like number. Hit them likes up, y'all. So I need to. Ooh. Here we go. Where? I can't see the likes myself. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, y'all can't see the likes on your side. I gotta fix my settings. All right. I will continue. Thank you for your participation. All right. So here we go. Now, again, he said he feels this is too much for a 5-year-old, although he's paying basically the same amount for his older daughter. But also check this part out, y'all. Look at this. Look at this right here. I'm going to share this other screen. And this really pissed me off. This made me good and irritated. This was in May of 2022. So this would have been while they were still fighting back and forth with the divorce. Mind you, his current wife is fighting, asking him to pay just basically an appropriate amount of that would allow coverage of the the daycare, those things. In the middle of their divorce, where he don't want to pay nothing, he buys his ninth grader a Rolls Royce Phantom. He buys his ninth grader a Rolls Royce Phantom. She's in ninth grade. She can't drive. This is some narcissistic nutcase, nutty-ish. Okay, I'm trying to cuss on this channel. We're not those kind of girls. We're not gonna cuss on this channel. But I cuss in real life. So here we go. Look, this is a posting. I'm not making this up. Y'all come look at this. Look at this. Oh, no. We don't want to hear it. You can see it playing. Pretty little girl, beautiful little girl. Make sure you can see it on your side. Hold on. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. It's the whole thing. This is the whole production. He wants baby girl. This is the other little beautiful. I'm going to read it for you because I know that the font here. Make it bigger for you right here. Let's see. There we go. This is crazy. He writes in the caption, I feel horrible as a father that I miss this one-of-a-kind moment. This is her graduating from the ninth grade. Ninth grade, not eighth grade, ninth grade. Baby girl got 3 more grades to go. 10th, 11th, then 12th. But okay. I feel horrible as a father that I missed this one-of-a-kind moment. But it's very clear that my daughter felt all the love that I had arranged from London. Thank you, Mama Norma. That's her mother. Mama Norma, for being there. Funny that you're in my country and I'm in yours. LOL. Congratulations to our angel, Shayla, Princess Shayla Gibson. You did it, baby. You've made daddy so proud. Y'all. What kind of foolishness? Somebody said he could put that in a trust. He said, yeah, they say he could have put that in a trust. That is crazy. He buys a ninth grader a Rolls Royce, and she cannot even drive. Okay. It's not like she was a ninth grader who went to 7th grade twice or kindergarten twice. And so she was a ninth grade and having to be 16, which would be its own weird situation. No. This man really did all this. She can't even drive. Yes, Stacey, that's the whole point. This is why this is straight up foolishness. This, to me, I hate throwing around that N word, the narcissist, but it fits here. And this is what that type of crazy looks like. So this is while he is in the middle of litigation with Samantha, the ex-wife involved in the current child support situation. Samantha is begging this man to pay the baby's daycare. Daycare was $1,274 a month. She's begging him, please pay the baby's daycare. He says, I'm going to give you $2,200 a month and you figure it out. So wait. A car note on a Rolls Royce is $2,200. He's paying a car note plus giving that mama over $10,000 a month. And that mother works. This mother, Samantha, at the time, since they married in 2007, so Samantha went to college to be a licensed social worker and has a master's. But when they got married in 2017, she stopped working, which makes sense. With a man like Tyrese, as needy and clingy as that man is, she probably tended to him and so forth. But also she wasn't working, right? She had her baby that next year. And so she did not work during the marriage. Yet and still, he gave her zero spousal support during the time of filing for divorce until it getting final. She got zero spousal support. All he gave her was $2,200 a month, $2,236. This is crazy. So I'm showing you, this is how we got here today. So now we're going to switch it up. I showed you the order. $73,000 is what he has to pay. Here's why. Because they've told him over and over and over again. Now, y'all, here's the real tea. Hit that like and hit that notification. Hit that like, y'all. Share this with a friend. Share this on your Facebook. Share this on your story. Hit a link, please, and thank you, y'all. Y'all gonna help me get to 40. I feel like we can get to 40K followers this month. But we're gonna follow this foolishness because he's got arrested today. Y'all, look at this, y'all. This is this fool's actual financial stuff, okay? So I'm gonna try to make it bigger. I know if you're watching this on your TV, it's a little bit easier. What this is the child support exhibit. Let me set this up for you just to help explain. What it is before you can get a divorce, they make each party fill out what's called a child support worksheet. Okay. So, ladies, if you're dating somebody and they have a kid and you trying to, they have a kid or whatever and they're divorced, or even if they've had child support, they've formally gone to court, you can pull the child support worksheet to find out how much money he makes. Just a tip. Because the child support worksheet requires both parties to list their income, expenses, and other things, and it is used to calculate how much money in child support under the law they're supposed to pay. Here we go. This is what it is for them. Samantha, we're going to start with Samantha right here. Her gross income each month, $7,880. Okay. This says the pro rata, the combined is 2.9%. We're going to get to that. Now, 7880. Now, I read some documents. What this is comprised of is she makes about $5,000 a month as a social worker, an additional $2,000 from her Patreon as an influencer and other things like that. So feel free, go to her pages, support her, know that what that's doing is helping her, because this man ain't did nothing but give her $2,200 a month. From that $2,200, she had to pay rent and pay all of this. But watch, you're going to later see she was not working during the marriage. And then because she went out and took care of her baby when Tyrese wouldn't, the court actually penalizes her for it. I'll get to that next. Here's the breakdown. Okay, so so the pro rata, basically the important part is her gross income $7,800, and then boop boop. What's this for Tyrese? $275,000 a month. A month, y'all. A month. This man makes $275,000 a month, and he doesn't want to pay $10,000 a month in child support. Instead, he was giving $22.36 and feels that's all that he should pay. 1%. You can't hire a nanny for that. 1%. I can't fight, and I want to beat him up myself, y'all. I want to whoop him myself. Woo! Samantha must not, her daddy must have arthritis or something, because my daddy would have went to town on that man. He would have been found in the wilderness singing about Coca-Cola with a Coca-Cola can tied to his neck. I want to hear what y'all say. And I'm going to leave room. And we're going to have, if we have room, I'm going to leave room. I want a panel, because maybe I don't see it from a perspective of, oh, this is a 5-year-old. I see it from the perspective of, what are your resources? And if this, mind you, these are the numbers Tyrese told the court. It's not like Tyrese said, no, I only make, $20K a month. And then the wife hired a forensic somebody and says, no, I think he's hiding income. He says, no. Tyrese himself admitted to the court he makes $275,000 a month. Then I'm gonna put the document back on the screen a bit bigger. Let me see. How are we gonna do that? There we go. So you guys can see it. So I'm gonna break this down for you a little bit more. So in Georgia, every state is different. Now in states like Texas, it's just straight up 20% of someone's income, right? Up to a cap, right? But in some states, it's just a straight percent. If Tyrese was in a different state where it was a straight 20% of your income, he would be paying something like, what was it? 27 times 2, 50, what is that? $54,000 a month? 44, something like that. He'd be paying like $54,000 per month. Okay. Here, what they do in Georgia, they combine both incomes together to get to 100%, and they give a percentage. So Samantha, this says, made 2.9% of the total household income if the two were in a combined household, and Tyrese made 97% of the income if this were still a combined household. They used those percentages and they broke it on down and blah, blah, blah. And the gist of it is, in the end, Samantha's expected to provide like 10% of what the baby needs, and Tyrese 20%, because of the differences in their income. Now, Let's see. Oh, Tyrese is supposed to provide insurance, but guess what? They're supposed to split 50-50 daycare or private school. So from whatever child support she's receiving, she still has to pay for daycare and she still has to pay for school. I'm showing you that to show you this is not some big, huge windfall. Yes, they combine out so why TF, my baby daddy is not paying his support and they're not doing anything to enforce it. It's probably, unfortunately, Monique, it's probably because you don't have a lawyer to do so. Remember, this woman has had to she filed 4 motions over the course of a year to get this to happen. So it's really frustrating. So I'm so sorry that you're going through that. He claims to have paid over, thank you, Mick. Thank you for the super chat. He claims to have paid $1 million in attorney's fees. Well, that's even more ludicrous because here's the thing. You got up there and you paid $1 million in lawyer's fees, but you didn't put that towards your baby. F you. Okay. Sit on a tack and spin. The devil is going to have a good time talking to you when you get to those gates. If you don't get it together. Mothers, keep your foot on deadbeats next. Absolutely. I always say, don't ever give up when it comes to child support because you never know. One day, the good Lord might let them get hit by a truck and get hit by an 18-wheeler. That's a minimum $1 million policy. And when they have child support arrears, guess who gets paid first? The lawyers, of course. But then after the lawyers, the child support gets paid. Honey, the child support gets paid for the doctors get reimbursed, okay, in most states. So you never know. Don't give up. He could get hit by a truck. It says Tyrese doesn't have money like that. That is not true. Foxtrotter, that's not true. I'm going to show you why. He said himself, you have to go by what somebody tells the court, not tells the Instagram, okay? Because what they tell the court is under penalty of perjury. So let's break into that. Okay. Because I can understand how people would think Tyrese doesn't have it by looking at him. Put that face back up on the screen. Here. He looked downtrodden, right? He looked like he's going through some things. If I saw this, I said, oh, look at that face. I said, oh, that ain't no $275,000 a month. That looks like downtroddenness, But he don't look like it and he don't act like it, but he has it. So let me add, here we go. We're going to go through. This is the important parts of the motion that was filed to get him locked up as he is. Now, mind you, he can do 2 things to get out. Pay that $73,000, which is what is presently owed. That $73,000 is the accumulation of him straight up telling the court, no, I ain't paying my child support. No. Instead, so he can pay the $73,000 or he can put up what's called a superdecis bond. He can put up a bond. Here's how that would have to happen. To put up a bond, you literally have to contact a bonding company, and then you pay an amount to that company. And the gist of it is, if you lose your appeal, because the reason he wants to bond out is he's saying, we're appealing this ruling. We think that the judge was wrong. With this appeal bond, what's super cool is if you lose your appeal, plaintiff automatically gets their money. So what Tyrese's attorney is saying is he shouldn't have been taken into custody. He should have been given the opportunity to put up the bond money instead of being incarcerated. But more than likely what happened is he couldn't find nobody to give him a bond. You still got to find a company willing to give you a bond. And when you were this kind of nincompoop, they may not want to. Also, he actively has a case where someone else is suing him for other debts and things like that. So when you have those things, Somebody said braces don't cost $11,000 a month. It's not about braces. You don't get to decide what the mother should and shouldn't spend her money on. But I'm going to break down to you what the court says. We're going to go by what the court says. And this is the motion that literally broke down how they calculated the child support that they did. So here's the thing. Tyrese wanted to pay $2,200. I'm going to show you where Tyrese got his number from, because this is important. All right. So when you look at this document, all right, line number 7 here says adjusted child support obligation. basically in their state, there's like a state minimum for couples that make combined household income of 30,000 or more. The minimum you can pay for a kid is 2231, basically, which was what Tyrese was paying. The only way you can get more than that is you have to provide certain factors. There have to be certain facts that go in favor of a court awarding more. And the judge was basically evaluated those factors and said, yep, the factors exist here, and here a reasonable amount would be this 10,000. Now, mind you, most parents, non-custodial parents, pay 20% of their income. This man is paying, if he's making $275,000 a month, he's paying far less than not even 10%, like 5% of his monthly income. So that's what has to be used when you're determining whether something is reasonable. Oh, here it is. So number 4, the basic child support is $2236. That is all Tyrese was giving throughout the entire divorce filing process. And that is why he's in trouble, because what he owes is the difference between that $2,000 and the actual $10,000 that the court awarded. How much is he making monthly? Someone has asked. He makes $275,000 per month. So if you look in this document behind, this is Tyrese submitted this to the court. Okay. He submitted his numbers. Samantha submitted her numbers. Tyrese told the court he makes $275,000 a month. And he's saying him paying $10,000 is too much for a 5-year-old, even though I had just shared with the court that he bought his 9th grader, his older daughter, when she was in the 9th grade, a Rolls Royce for 9th grade, even though she couldn't drive. Okay. Yeah. Monthly $200K plus. That is correct. That is correct. He paid someone. He mad she don't really like him the way that he wanted her to. So he's doing all of this. Probably. He claims he made $3.3 million per year, which averages to thank you, Cheryl. Yeah. Well, this is what he gave the court. That's why look at the top, Exhibit A. Now, here is the logic that the court used when they decided that he should pay the $10K. These are the background facts. All right. So it says, on September 2020, the wife filed for divorce. Okay. Pursuant to the divorce decree, he's required to pay the sum of $10,690 as child support. Following the entry of the decree, she had to file, and that was August of 2022. Paragraph 2, following the entry of the decree, the father failed and refused to pay the proper amount of support of the court order. And so she had to file her first motion. It was then granted. Okay. Then there was another motion. It was granted. And in February, he claimed an inability to pay defense, February of this year. Now, since then, the father has only paid, since December. So let me clarify. During the pendency of the divorce, until the divorce was signed, he was only paying $2,236, the $2,236, which was the minimum. Then after the divorce in December, he started paying $3,500 a month. Remember, he's not paying for daycare though. In addition, he's only paying the $3,500 a month instead of the $10,000. He failed to pay the fair amount. He just came up with $3,500. He just decided this is what's fair. Boom, this is what you're gonna get. And the court said, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. So then, as detailed in summarizing Exhibit E, the current amount due is the $71,000. Okay, that's because it's the difference between the $3,500 he started paying in December, plus the $3,500 compared to the $10,000 he was supposed to pay, plus additional fees that the wife is entitled to for all the lawyers' fees, all the motions, and all that stuff that had to be filed. Line 7 says, father has shown repeated, blatant, and flagrant disrespect for this court and its authority. Tyrese clearly does not care what this court orders regarding child support, as he simply pays what he wants. And it says father's failure to pay the mother's order by this court is willful, intentional, and is for the 3rd time. Mother respectfully requests this father be found in willful contempt as of the contempt order from last October, y'all. Mother respectfully requests the father once again purge himself and basically pay the $21,900, which is due. Now we're gonna get to here go the juicy part. Okay, y'all. Here is the divorce decree. We going into it. Oh, I had a super chat. Please continue. Oh, I love this. Ooh. Thank you. This is from Sabrina9. Please continue to reveal the lies and keep these men honest. I got you, girl. I got you. And for the brothers that are watching as well, I appreciate you guys too. Because we praise you when you're doing right, but when you're doing wrong, we're not gonna give you credit just because you can la la la, just because you can sing and dance with a Coca-Cola can in your hand. Like, we don't care. We don't care. Oh, and thank you. Assistant 71 says, I love your channel. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. All right. So going back to this, make sure y'all hit that like. This is Tyrese's divorce decree, y'all. We are looking page by page at Tyrese's divorce decree. This is important because this is going to show you how the court came up with the amount that they figured was fair. Also, this is important, y'all. This is not alcoholic. Y'all, just a little, I got a little something. Oh, you can't even see me. You're fine. You're fine. This is also important because it also gives you, I want you to see the part, the spousal support part we're going to get to, where the court literally punishes her for being educated and going out and getting a job to make up and take care of the bills when Tyrese was only given $2,200 a month and he was supposed to be given far more to support them during the divorce. Mind you, during the marriage, she did not work at all. He had her quit her job. I'm saying he had her because they never want you to work when you have like a regular everyday job that requires you to give to your clients. They always be like, no, travel with me, my personal assistant. All right, final judgment, divorce. During a pretrial conference, counsel for the parties, this is paragraph 2, stipulated it was irretrievably broken within the meaning of the law. We're going to skip this on down to the juicy parts. Premarital agreement. On February 2nd, the parties entered into a prenup. Okay. The prenup addressed issues of equitable division of property and liabilities, alimony, and attorney's fees. The wife, in her petition for divorce, and the husband, in his counterclaim, both pled for premarital agreement to be adopted and incorporated into any final judgment. So both sides says, yep, we want the court to adhere to the prenup. Division of property, that part was fine. That was agreed to. Here's the catcher. Here's the kicker. All right. Number 10, notwithstanding the above stuff we just talked about, during trial, the parties stipulated to an exception from the equitable division provisions of the prenup. This is dumb. Basically it's saying each party, therefore, it's saying that basically the husband is driving a car in her name and she is driving a car in his name, but the two of them are cool with that. So the order is simply saying each party has 30 days from the date of the decree to take all steps to transfer title of the vehicles to the other person and refinance the cars. So that's normal. That's no big issue. But fun fact there, whenever you have an order that says it has to be refinanced within 30 days, the true matter is the order says it really is unwritten, but the law is you just have to make an attempt to refinance it. So if you know good and well your credit is crap and you try to refinance it and can't get anybody to approve, the other party still has to keep it in their name. And you could potentially have your credit ruined by somebody who is driving your vehicle and ain't paying the note. That did not happen here. I'm just giving you that. All right. Issues for the court. Now, here's the thing. This is the divorce decree for Tyrese, y'all. And it says, y'all, this is crazy. As the parties resolved all the issues among themselves, and the premarital agreement governs the division of the marital estate and define each party's respective separate interests, the court is tasked with resolving the issues of child support, spousal support per the marital agreement, and attorney's fees and expenses of the litigation. Now, this is what's stupid. It says in the footnote, this includes the wife's claim for lump sum child support from the time that she filed her petition through child. And here's what's really stupid. Footnote 2. It says, although the prenup addresses issues of alimony or spousal support and attorney's fees and expenses of litigation, the terms of the prenup still require the court's involvement, because this dunce of a lawyer added a provision that says basically there's a prenup unless the court decides the prenup is unfair. Boy, what? That was a huge mistake. Because if it's a prenup unless the court decides if it's reasonable, then don't you think your wife is going to ask the court to decide if it's reasonable? Because that's what she did here, stupid. Sometimes you guys, when y'all hire lawyers and then they're like, here, sign this, make sure you read it. And if it doesn't make sense to you, do not assume it's not making sense to you because you're a normal human being that didn't go to law school. It may not make sense to you because it's stupid. It may not make sense to you because it's poorly written. Here, this is an instance where they had a prenup, but it was so poorly written that it literally included a provision that says, this is our prenup. Oh, unless a court decides this prenup is unfair. Huh? Yes, we'll continue with that. Okay. Also, number 14 states, we're going to hop on down to child support. It says at trial, each party put in evidence of their respective child support worksheets. That was the document I showed you guys before. It was a combination of both of those worksheets. It says both worksheets included a proposed high income deviation. Specifically, wife requested this court order ongoing child support from husband in the amount of $10,690. Okay. And the husband requested the court set his obligation at only $3,500. Okay. That's what I wanted you guys to see. So this is why. So basically the court rules ultimately that she gets to 10,000, and Tyrese says, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm only going to give her 3,500. And the judge is like, no, son, that's not how that works. You going to jail today. You going to jail today. So literally in 2022, August of 2022, the court did a final order that said, no, Tyrese, you cannot continue paying $3,500 a month. We have ordered you must pay her $10,690 per month. And he is like a sore loser and said, I don't care. I'm not paying it. So he hasn't paid it. And there we go. This is another important fun fact. In paragraph 14 down here, it says, as petitioner's exhibit 44, it admits husband earns gross monthly income of $275,000. And they mean per month. I want to make sure that you see that so you don't think that I'm saying anything other than these are the numbers he told the court. Okay. This is what he told the court. So it's no miscellaneous calculation. He told the court he made $270K a month. Paragraph 15. As to wife, it was uncontroverted. Now, this is the divorce decree. It's saying, as to the wife, it's uncontroverted, meaning it's undisputed. She is employed full-time with More Than Conquers, Inc. as a licensed clinical social worker, earning gross monthly income of $5,720 as a W-2 employee. In addition to wife's work as a social worker, she admitted to grossly income from 3 separate side hustles through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And it goes on to say, the amount wife earns from her self-employment income varies month to month, as reflected in her checking account statements. But while wife's self-employment income is variable, her bank statements and DRFA show that the court finds her average monthly amount earned from self-employment is $2,160.14. Okay. At trial, counsel for husband spent time cross-examining wife regarding her monthly spending habits, as reflected on her checking statements, and argued her spending habits indicate she must have other sources of income, which had not been disclosed. So, and then it says, yet husband presented no evidence wife earned income beyond her W-2 income and self-employment income disclosed on her form. Instead, husband simply argued the inference that wife must have been earning more money due to her spending habits, which exceeded her deposits in certain months. Well, listen, stupid. If she was used to being married to you in a joint household, she and her child probably had certain regular expenses. Perhaps it was a nanny. Perhaps it was daycare. other things that you're not paying for. Again, at this time, like prior to the divorce decree, he was only giving $22.36 a month. The child's daycare was $12.74 per month. Mom had to use that $22.36 to pay rent, furnish it, nanny, food, all of the above. All right, let's move on down. All right. Says in accordance with the child support guidelines, the basic support obligation does not exceed $22.36 when parents earn a combined monthly income of $30,000 or higher. That means that's the base that they use, and then they can add to it. The court, however, has the discretion to impose an upward deviation to attain an appropriate amount of support for high-income parents, which is consistent with the best interest of the child, meaning do what's best for your kid. Okay. Inherent is the court's ability to consider an upward deviation to child support based on high income to achieve the state policy of affording children of unmarried parents, to the extent possible, the same economic standard of living enjoyed by intact families consisting of parents with similar financial means. Basically, because you're growing up in a single parent home, you should not have less resources than if your parents stayed married to the narcissist daddy that you got who's crazy, as an example. Okay. We're going to hop on down. It says, as an initial matter at trial, both parties agreed that a high income deviation was appropriate. So he agreed, combined, there was more than $30K, and so they needed to deviate that from. It said husband requested this court impose the high deviation and set his monthly support at $3,500 a month. Let's just process that. The man who tells the court he makes $200,000, I can't even say it, $275,000 a month is saying he wants to pay only $3,500 a month in child support. And the reason he got arrested today is because that is, in fact, all that he had been paying since the court ordered it, instead of paying what he was ordered to pay, which was this $10,000. The court has found the deviation, and both sides agreed, quote, the deviation from the from the $2,200 up would be in the minor's best interest so that she can share the economic benefit of her father's current income. Okay. So even the dad is agreeing. Yes, the minimum for the state is not appropriate here, goofy. Now come on down. It said, this was crazy to me, y'all. Pursuant to the law, the court reasons that a deviation, basically from the minimum, is appropriate based on the extraordinarily high income of the husband, which is more than 9 times the $30,000 a month max accounted for in the basic law, basically. Furthermore, the vast disparity in incomes between the parties supports a high income deviation in the matter. Even rounding the wife's gross monthly income up to $8,000 a month, husband admitted gross income of $275,000 a month, which is still more than 34 times the wife's income. Finally, the court says here in yellow, finally, the court estimates there is an average of 22 working days in each month. Applying that to the husband's income, he earns $12,500 from 1 day of work each month. A mere 3 days of the husband's work, therefore, already puts him over the $30,000 a month maximum. So what this means, this man works 1 day, and earns a fourth of what he is paying this woman in child support, what he had been giving her. He works 1 day and makes $12,500, but only was giving her $3,500 after the divorce decree, even though the divorce order said he was supposed to give 10. You are a type of crazy. This is a special type of nut. Let me just gone on to the end. I'm gonna forward, and for those of you guys that are in my membership, thank you guys. Give me 24 hours. I'm gonna upload this whole thing so y'all can have this and you can read all through it. We're not going through because I want to give some time for you guys. I'm gonna drop a link for those who got questions, comments, whatever. I'm dropping that link for y'all. This is all kind of stupid. Here we go. We're talking about why Tyrese needed to get arrested today. Oh, hold on. There's so much going on in here. I don't know if I can pin it. Y'all, this is fast. Yeah, I don't know why I can't see the likes. Okay. Oh, well, y'all, I try to drop it. There's so many. Okay. If one of the moderators are here, there we go. I see it. Pin it. Okay. If anyone wants to join the panel, I just dropped that link. But I'm gonna go to the end part. I want you to see this part. This part that really made me mad as an educated woman. It pissed me off that the court basically said, you got a job too quick. You got a degree. Nah, we're not gonna give you no spousal support. That pissed me off. Let me hop on down to that, mosey on down to that section. Hold on. I'm so gosh darn mad. Let me go to that section. This is the spousal support. So here we go. Okay, under the spousal support section, it says the court, pursuant to the express terms of the prenup agreement, must also address the issue of spousal support. According to the prenup, the premarital agreement and prenup is the same thing. So for those of y'all little people in the chat that like to correct every little thing, I don't care. According to the prenup, it provides for specific limitations on the amount of alimony which can be awarded to the wife as part of this action. This court intervention remains necessary as the spousal support limitations are only triggered, quote, if either party provides the other with termination notice, meaning I want a divorce, okay, and the court orders a party to pay the other temporary and or permanent support. Okay. As such, the court must still make a determination as to whether spousal support is appropriate in this action, because the premarital agreement, however, provides no further guidance to the court on what, if anything, it should or must consider when determining the issue of spousal support. Literally, they're supposed to, like a prenup is supposed to say, spousal support will only come into play if, for example, we've been married over 10 years, or we've been married for 10 years and have 2 or more children, whatever. It didn't do that here. So now it's got this issue. And it says, the court finds an award of alimony is not appropriate in this case. Here's why. Although there was a high standard of living established during the marriage and husband has exceedingly superior financial resources compared to wife, the remaining factors weigh against an upward award of spousal support. The wife is highly educated, having maintained her master's in social work prior to meeting husband. Although wife did not work during the marriage, she quickly attained full-time employment as a licensed clinical social worker, evidencing she has no physical or mental limitations on her ability to work and earn an income, and does not need any additional time to acquire the education or training necessary to obtain employment. As set forth above, wife earns approximately $95,000 annually. Under any other circumstance, a party with an income nearing 6 figures would be ill-positioned to prevail on a claim for alimony. The difference here is simply the husband's extraordinary income. Given the short duration of the marriage, so it was 3 years before filing for divorce, the difference here is simply the husband's extraordinary income. Given the short duration of the marriage, however, husband's financial circumstances bear little weight in the instant analysis. Accordingly, given wife's near 6-figure income, which she was able to achieve in an admirably short period of time following the parties' separation, the court declines to award alimony or support under the terms of the prenup. I found that very interesting. What I feel would have been, I understand them saying, Long-term spousal support doesn't seem fair because you were married for a short amount of time. However, the fact that he didn't give her anything during the time she filed for the divorce, I think that she should have been allowed it. Even if they said the date of the divorce moving forward, you're not going to get anything. But for the 2 years y'all were going back and forth arguing, I think she should have been able to receive something modest. $5,000, $7,000 a month for those 2 years seems like that would be reasonable. But that's my thought on that. But I also want you to see this. I want you to see, this was the court's, okay, when the court went into the logic for why they were going to give more than the $3,500 that Tyrese wants to give every month for the child support for the kid. I want you to hear the court's logic. So, because this is what Tyrese is appealing. Tyrese is saying, he is saying that it shouldn't be, more than $3,500. There we go. All right. So we already got the fact that, the working. Okay. It says, this is the court's logic on why they're giving this baby girl more than $3,500 a month. It says, additionally, it would be inappropriate for the court to only apply the presumptive minimum amount of child support here, because it would result in a substantial decrease in the child's standard of living. Wife testified at trial. One of the reasons she is seeking an upward deviation, like an increase in the husband's child support, is to afford her and the child the ability to buy a home rather than be faced with the prospect of continuing to rent and move whenever the wife's lease ends. The wife further testified she has researched homes costing between $350,000 and $500,000 in the metro Atlanta area. There can be little question that the child residing in a home which is owned by a wife rather than rented by the wife, where the child can begin establishing a community around her, serves her best interests far more than potentially moving year to year when the wife's lease expires. To be clear, even a $500,000 home will not place the child in the same economic standard of living she enjoyed while living with the parties at what's now the husband's home with a mortgage of over $25,000 a month. Yeah, this man's house is $25,000 a month, and he wants to pay $3,500 a month for everything for the child. Interesting. This is also very interesting to me. I want to hear what you guys think of the logic of a portion of the reason that they feel like instead of $3,500, she should get closer to $10 is to enable her to buy a home. I also thought it seemed very reasonable that the mom is looking for homes between $350,000 and $5,000 in Atlanta. That is like I feel like that's a very reasonable, that you're not getting no mansion. You're not getting no mansion. But you're going to get something stable. You're going to get something nice. You're going to get something in a family, friendly type of community, I would think. But also, I think it just shows a level of reasonableness. Like, she's not out here trying to live like this extravagant life. And she's driving a Land Rover, okay? She ain't driving no Phantom. Again, she's saying she wants to do this for her house, and you've given your 9th grader a Rolls Royce. Next, the next paragraph says, this is again the court's reason for giving the $10,000. And Tyrese is saying he doesn't like the court's reason, and that's why he is appealing. Second part of the reason, continuing with the state's policy of affording children, to the extent possible, the same economic standard of living when the family was intact. A high income deviation will likely allow the wife, meaning an increase, to pull back from working one full-time job and 3, quote, side hustles. It says side hustles. It was uncontroverted at trial that wife did not work during the marriage and was therefore far more available to the child than the wife currently working 4 jobs. She got 4 jobs. Okay? 4 jobs. And so it says, it is thus in the child's best interest that wife have financial flexibility to pull back from 1 or even 2 of her side hustles to be in a position to spend more time with the child. Okay. Because she's still going to have to work. And the court didn't give her spousal support and stuff. The expectation is she's still going to have to work on $10K a month in Atlanta. You're still going to have to work of child support. But I appreciated that reasoning. It says, it then says, certainly it is the opinion of the court that is always to the benefit of the child to spend time with their parents, especially of the quality and type of parents involved here. This also goes to the economic standard of living enjoyed by the child previously, as a parent's flexibility to choose not to work is largely, if not exclusively, driven by the economic circumstances of the family. Although wife is not going to be in a position to cease to work and focus exclusively on raising the child as she did during the marriage, wife's ability to work less has the effect of inching the child closer to the standard of living she once enjoyed when the parents were married. Next paragraph, and we're almost done here. Lastly, it was stipulated between the parties prior to child, husband would be responsible for half the cost associated with the child's current daycare, and uncontroverted during trial that the parties would be equally responsible for the cost of any private school should it arise. Let me tell you. In other words, she gave this man grace. And this is why I tell you, don't give nobody grace. When you're in a divorce, this is not your friend. This is not your friend. Treat this person like a former business partner, and you better get everything that you can get in that divorce, because next time you go back to court, they're going to be trying to give you even less. Here, I would have already asked for child support, assuming whatever daycare is, whatever private school will be. And if you don't use it later, that's one thing. But the issue here is she was nice. She was real nice. She said, I'll do half the daycare and child support. I'll do half of daycare and private school. The problem is you can't. If this man's only giving you $3,500 a month, where you going to come up with that half? You were being his friend. You should have said, no, I want the 10 plus daycare and private school, period. Sometimes y'all get tired of these divorces dragging out, so you give in and stuff. But I'm trying to tell you, you're going to learn. You cannot be nice at first. You can be nice when the child is 10 and 12 and 15. You can be nice when the child is older after they're doing what they're supposed to do. But here, she was nice to this fool. And what did he do? How did he pay her back? Didn't even pay what he was supposed to pay. Here we go. So it says here, finally, we're almost wrapped up. It says the application of the presumptive amount of child support would make wife's ability to provide her share of any such tuition and expenses nil. Meaning if they don't increase the child support, she's not even going to be able to cover half the tuition anyway. Therefore, it would be inappropriate. It says a deviation, on the other hand, may allow the wife to cover her portion of such costs, thus paving the way for the kid to have the opportunity to attend private school. Okay. It also goes on to say he's supposed to provide health insurance. He's also has to pay 90% of any uncovered medical stuff. She's supposed to pay 10%. Daycare is 50-50. Baby, daycare is expensive. Private school is expensive. I found this interesting. This is page 14. So life insurance. He has to keep a $1.9 million policy for the child in the name of the wife. In other words, if something happened and he passes away, the wife will receive this, and that is to make up for the fact that he's not alive anymore to be there to support the kid. And then finally, the wife asked for a lump sum for the difference of the child support he was supposed to be paying and the $2,200 that he did pay, as well as for the half of daycare, which was the $1,274, because she was doing all that on her own. And basically, the court ordered he needed to pay her a lump sum of $163,000 before August 2022. It's my understanding he did not pay that full $163,000. That's why the calculation today is the $73,000. It includes a balance or a portion of this amount that he was supposed to pay and he didn't, and the child support amounts that he's not paying and supposed to pay. So Tyrese is a bitter Betty. If anyone, I'm gonna drop the link one more time. Great, we got somebody. Monique, are you ready? Oh, and there's anybody else? I'm gonna drop the link one more. Oh no, it should be pinned. It should still be pinned. Yes, if you want to join and leave a comment. So we're gonna wrap up on this. So the gist of it, y'all, pulling this down, is this man is making $275,000 a month. He was only paying $3,500 a month in child support. He didn't pay the back support like he was supposed to be. He was refusing to pay the $3,500 because he decided $3,500 was reasonable because this was a kindergartner. Despite him making $275,000 a month, undisputed, he didn't want to pay that. It's crazy. It says, woman going after his head now is no surprise. He is in arrears. Okay, Monique, you ready? You want to leave? Hey, Monique, what are your thoughts on this, girl?
Hey, Red Wine.
How are you?
Can I just say, let's just throw the whole state of Georgia away. Because like I'm from New York and I've been in Georgia for a while, but I just feel like the legal system here is just crazy. Like I feel like if you want to like get away with stuff and go through a loophole, just move to Georgia.
Well,
Because
come on down.
basically that's basically what it is like. So I have my own little child support situation and stuff like that. But in general, it's just like they want you to be destitute. Like they really try to wait till Samantha literally has nothing for her to sit here and say that she needs support, right? And then
Right.
it's like, even if you file all these motions, like how many years she had to wait or something like that,
Yeah.
like they will literally just tell you like, oh, we're enforcing everything. That come down like literally with the Christian situation. That's
Mm-hmm,
what
mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you, girl. I was like, they're gonna let him go. Like I was
Yeah.
like, they're gonna be so lenient because like literally that's just how Georgia is. Like when it comes to like legal activity out here, I feel like
Mhm.
you do a crime and you ain't gonna get sentenced to like 10 years. So out here now you done did like half your term because you've been living your life. Like, you know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tyrese
It says,
should not at all be complaining, especially when it comes down to your child. Like, what is 10K to 275K a month?
mhm. And Miss
Like,
Cargill wrote, and a lot of people are, I saw similar comments like this. Her wanting 10K a month is to maintain her lifestyle. It's not for the kid. And I actually think that I think that that's probably Tyrese's mentality too. And that's why he doesn't want to give it. So a lot of men's issues is we're not together. I do not want to maintain your lifestyle. But I think what the court was trying to explain is that when your two households aren't together, your child should not have to forgo dance class, competitive gymnastics, the quality daycare, bilingual this, that, and the third, because of the fact that you guys are split. And I think when people think of like the amount to take care of a child, you think of a public school child generally. But the truth of the matter is, if this was Steve Jobs' kid, if this was Bill Gates' kid, they're going to a $30,000 to $40,000 a month preschool. I've seen it all the time. They go to a $30,000 a month preschool. They have private tutors. They're on competitive sports teams. And you have to maintain, you have to realize this child is going to be with her mom 90% of the time because he's not even visiting like he's supposed to. So the child does need a house. They need electricity. They need utilities. They need all of those things. So it's truly impossible to not have the money, also, some part of the money also impact the parent, right? Because there has to be housing. There has to be all of those things. But I think it's the wrong attitude from Tyrese's perspective to think that 10K is all the mom's lifestyle, because the truth of the matter is, if you're making 275 a month and you gift your ninth grader who can't drive a Phantom, that's actually taking care of their mother's lifestyle. That Phantom, who's going to drive them to school in that? The mom and things like that. So really, it's supposed to be about giving them access to the resources. And you should want your child to have access to more resources if you're a more wealthy person. Monique, what do you think would be an appropriate amount of child support in this situation?
to be honest, I'm a single parent, right? And I have a child. I have a son. He's 2 years old. And $10,000, I'm spending that close to my son, and we not even in the same bracket as these people. Like my son got like
Yeah.
water therapy. He got all these like activities and stuff like that. And it's just like, yes, if you want your child to not be a statistic, you have to provide the resources to enhance that environment. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna want your child, that the kid of Tyrese, to go to a public school. Like
Mhm,
my
mhm.
son, my son water lessons alone was like $3,200. So I'm just like,
Literally 3,500 a month, which is what Tyrese was paying instead of what he was court ordered, the 10. That's a purse. That's boots. I bet he gifts his girlfriend purses that are more expensive than that. A night of bottle service at the club one night is more than $3,500 in Miami or even Atlanta for that matter. So when you like put it in perspective like that, daycare can't be more than 35K or more a year. In daycare can be in some states. Comparing 100K to 3 mil is different. But at the end of the day, I don't understand expecting someone who makes 3 million to pay the same child support as someone who makes 100K or even 200. I just think like because the truth of the matter is each of their kids' lives will look differently. But also, hey Tyrese, one way to pay less child support is to visit your kid more, spend more time with your kid. Your child support can be decreased based on the amount of time you have your kids. So that's also a good way is actually participating in their lives. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Monique. Purple Rain. I'm going to
it
put you
was
down,
a
Monique.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
Okay. All right, Purple Rain, you ready?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, hold on. Before you start, I want to we've got a few super chats. Oh, again, I forgot to remind you guys. My page, don't forget if you would like a consultation with me, I do consultations with people who have legal matters throughout the United States. We do private consultations. You will not, nobody's going to hear about it on my channel. But if you like that, make sure that you go to, let me do a screen share here. Make sure that you go to SimoneRedwine.com. You can also get my ebook on background checks 101. You can get that here or scroll down to book or hire Simone. A 30-minute consultation with me is only $150 at the time being. All right. So Purple Rain, what are your thoughts, girl?
Because like the whole situation to me is so like the fact that I'm not even triggered because I'm so used to seeing stuff like this. And the kind of tactics that they pull, because Tyrese, he literally said, "Oh, I spent $1 million on legal fees." So, what about your own kid? What about, I don't know,
Right.
life insurance? What about their college fund? But you know what it really is? It's not like he doesn't want to give money to the kid. It's because the kid is attached to the ex-wife. So he's going to make
Yes.
the kid suffer
Right.
because of the ex-wife. And like it just goes to show like, wow, men will really, they will put you through it. Like they will, because I'm sure 25 years ago, or whenever they got married, like she got like, oh yeah, he's like the best husband, blah blah blah. And I'm like, everything could change so fast, especially when you go to court and there's money involved. Oh, this is regular, like and I think also because it's Georgia, it can
Mm-hmm.
really swing two different ways. Because
Okay.
recently I saw a case where, like, this lady, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with quality control, but
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the big guys up there, his name is P, but his real
Yeah.
name is Pierre. But basically, him and his little baby moms, like, they were living, like, they were cohabitating basically, and they had a child. And you know what she did? Because this guy is known to be an Indian giver. Okay,
Oh,
he will
what do you
take.
do, girl?
Girl, what did he do? Because like
Oh,
he's taking bags away from her. He's taking her shoes. He's like taking away her car and stuff. And she managed to lawyer up. Mind you, they're not even legally married, but she was able to lawyer up. And I guess because they live together, so she can prove like, hey, I'm in the house with the kid. So now
uh-huh.
he has to pay her like 250K,
Wow.
like a big monthly allowance to maintain the kid. Mind you, the kid is like 3 2, very
Wow.
young, like in this situation. So but then it can also swing the other way where he, because I feel like Tyrese Petty, he gonna drag this out, and it might
I
not
think
even
so too.
be because, oh, like, because she could technically get in writing everything that she wants, but it might take 10 years to get it. And
That's
I
true.
know, and it just goes to show, like, when it comes to child support, like people, like, I keep seeing comments like, oh, she's just a gold digger, she just wants 10K to maintain her lifestyle. If you're living in a high cost of living state,
Agreed.
California.
Yeah, that's true.
10K bare minimum. 10K is how much a bag costs. Like we saw, 10K is about how much one semester of preschool costs, especially
Right.
because we want Black children to elevate. So she needs to be
Sure.
putting him in like the really good private schools that will set him up so that he can go, like her child can go to like an Ivy League school and go there for free.
Right.
Like it's a mindset, it's a plan. Like people
Absolutely.
don't really understand this. So I just see it and I'm like, dang. But I think the main thing for me when I see this situation, I noticed like, wow, like she's a social worker by trade. So
Yep.
I'm like, so this guy and that really goes to show that none of us are immune from this happening to us. Because if he was
That
able to
is.
get
She
her
probably thought she
to
could help
quit
that
her
boy.
job, and she's a social workers get pensions. they can live a pretty all right life.
Okay.
And I think he probably he got her. I'm sorry, he got her. And it's just so sad because I'm sure like as a social worker, she's used to seeing like
Yeah.
people in traumatic, challenging situations every day. And like I guess she never thought that she would be going through something like this. I don't think
I could
she thought
definitely
this
see
would
that.
happen.
Well, thank you for your comment, Purple Rain. We
Yeah.
got 2 more people I'm going to add. Thank you. Before I see you, Felicia, I'm going to come to you next. I see Felicia, Shelby, and then I hope to get to the last one, which will be Tammy. I want to say thank you so much, Brandy, for the super sticker, as well as Forever Fancy. Thank you for breaking this down so well and making it entertaining too. Thank you. Philly Aquarius, thank you again. You have become a member. Thank you so much. Sabrina, continue to reveal the lies and keep these men honest. Girl, I got you. All right. So we got, let me go ahead and add Felicia. Felicia, what are your thoughts, girl?
Hey, hi, Simone. Thank you for allowing me up. And hey, greetings to
Absolutely.
the chat. I didn't hear all of your commentary, so forgive me if I
That's
missed
okay.
it. But I want to know, what do you think about her attorney? It doesn't sound like she got the best deal.
Hey, well, do you mean you think she should have gotten more money?
Absolutely. I mean, I understand that Georgia is supposed to be income sharing.
Yeah.
Upon on those matters. So you indicated something 90-10 a couple of minutes
Correct.
ago. And I
Yeah.
would have thought it should have been 90-10 on this child support, but it didn't.
It is. So what they're claiming is it is. Part of the challenge, though, they do the 90-10, but the 90-10 is based on the assumption of total resources of like, the 90-10 was, let me put that back up. They calculated that by if the two of them were in one household, their incomes, hers actually, no, let me make this bigger. The truth is she made about 3% of the income and he made 97% of the income.
Okay.
But then for the state, because the state bases it off of 30K, a 30K expectation, I think that's where they got the 90-10. I'm not exactly sure, but the gist of it, it says percentages for each parent for future. Oh, no, that's for healthcare expenses. Correction. So yeah, the 90-10 was only healthcare expenses. But for the actual, the problem with Georgia is because they cap it based on $30,000 a month. And then secondly, it sounds like she asked for the 10. See, if she would have asked for a larger number, she might have gotten it. So when you ask me my thoughts on her attorney, it's a good point. I definitely would have asked for more than 10. I would have asked for like 30.
Right.
I would have asked, because he's got 2 kids. So I would have taken, what is 20% of his monthly income? That would be $54K a month. And then I probably would have asked for half of that because he's got 2 kids.
Right. That's 27.
Or closer to that. Actually, in Texas, if there's 2 kids, it's expected you give 25% of your income when it's 2 kids with 2 different households. So yeah, I hear you. I definitely feel like she should have asked for more. And what I generally see, thank you so much, Eve, for the super chat. What I generally see is when they don't, they feel like, well, maybe if I pull back what I ask for, I can get this divorce over faster and we could work on being friends. This is not your friend and it's not going to be your friend for many, many years. And so I always say, instead of approaching this as though you're divorcing a friend, you need to do it as though this is a business dispute where a business is being split and each of you are going your ways. You need to ask for everything that you feel entitled to.
Simone, if I may say, before I
Mhm.
go, my perspective is a little different.
Okay.
That you prioritize the child. What is the needs of the child? This money's not going to do it. It's just not. So if I go in with a point of interest being the priority is my child or children, what
Mhm.
their needs are, what we're going to have to sustain a quality of life, for me to also have the support system so that they have that quality of life. This money here is nowhere near that. She's going to a regular public daycare down the street. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but when your husband $275,000 a month, there's more dignity and self-respect in going a different route, period. I would never had thought that this would happen to her. So I'm wondering if her attorney truly didn't advise her on what was on the best interest of this child.
Great point for Felicia. And I want to add to your point. You know what? There's something that many people don't think about is in states like Georgia, child support ends at 18. So you as a custodial parent, it is and she did not ask for in the divorce, prenup, or otherwise, that there be a child college fund. Baby, if my ex-man made $270,000, you better believe we would have an agreement that he will pay for college. And you know what? Because he's a nut. He's a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm going to make sure that money is today. So part of the order would be, okay, maybe you're going to give me 10, and then every month you're going to put another 10 every month into a college fund until it is funded at with interest bearing at what we think college, a full-time of college or whatever is going to be, because you cannot trust this man to get more movies and this, that, and the third, because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I agree with you, Simone. Absolutely.
Thank you, Felicia. All right, next up we got Shelby. Shelby, you ready?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Shelby. Oh, yes. You're a gentleman. You sound like a man.
Yes, I am. I'm from New York. I'm from New York City, and I just stumbled on your podcast. So much respect to you. Much respect. It's not easy, but I must disagree with you ladies on this.
Let's hear it.
I'm a man, and I just went through the child support system, and it is not pleasant, right? Mm-hmm. And I have 50-50 custody of my daughter, right? Okay. And my daughter's mother still put me on child support, right?
Okay.
And I try to tell women, when you're nasty to your baby father or your ex-husband, whatever that judge awards you, that number is going to be it. So if he awards, that's it. That's it.
Right.
But people don't realize that life does happen. You may need more money in February or more money in June, whatever, because life does happen. If you're nasty to this man, right?
Yes.
And we're out in child support court, when you need something from that man, which will happen, he's going to remember how you treated him in child support court. And a wise woman always told me, you can get a lot more from a man if you're nice to him, if you're reasonable to him, right? Okay. My daughter's mother is always in financial binds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I help out my child. I don't help her out. Okay. Just because how she treated me in child support court, right? And I'm a man.
Shelby, are you guys earning the same amount of money, or do you make substantially more than she?
I make double what she makes.
Okay.
Right? Even though I have 50-50 custody, physical custody, which I'm blessed to have, I still give her a few dollars a month. So my child support is, I'm not going to lie, is very low. It's like 5% of my overall income. So I'm blessed. Okay. So I can't complain. Now, Tyrese, I'm not going to lie, he's an idiot. He is an idiot. I can't defend him.
Okay.
I want to defend him. I want to, but I can't. He's an idiot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But But for other men, I think that women, should be more cordial to dudes who want to be fathers, because once again, life does happen, and he's gonna need you. You're gonna need him later on down the line. And if you treat him bad in court, I'm telling you, it's gonna come back to bite you.
Now, do you feel like, though, here in this situation, she treated him bad in court?
Now, I did feel that way until you broke down the paperwork.
Okay.
Okay? So once you broke down the paperwork and percentages, now my opinion has changed. Okay? Yeah. So that I must give you respect for him, because once again, before this, I had all this other IG information, but once you broke down the paperwork, now I get it. So
Gotcha.
I see why she had money. So respect to you. Respect.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and this channel is about receipts, right? Because I hear things on social media, and I was like, all right, well, I want to see for myself what these numbers are. And particularly what I found interesting, like I said, was how the court came to the numbers that they did come to. I thought, okay, that makes sense here. And then when I saw, and I knew, I was like, whoa, the amount he wants to pay is 1%. Like that just seems really crazy here under these facts. And I also want to clarify, when I say go for what you're entitled to, I don't mean be nasty. I don't mean be mean. But if the court, like if the provision of the state is you're entitled to this percent, I think a lot of times women go for less, but they do not consider the fact that you're responsible to pay your child's college too. In fact, when it's time to fill out the FAFSA for your child, they make you put down what the mom makes and what the dad makes. But the courts do not require the dad to pay child support after 18 in most states. So that's why I say for the moms, if you're thinking, okay, maybe, the court says he's supposed to give 20%, but maybe I'm going to take half. That's where you want to make sure you have something taken care of for college, because it is not your right to give away your kid's college fund. Thank you so much. Go ahead. You want to say something about that?
One last question, right? I have homegirls, right, who talk to me about the child support case, and in New York, 21 in New York, right? And because they were so nasty to their baby fathers, when their kid is 18, 20 years old, and they want a car, the dude was like, forget, because how you treated me in child support court. So I'm just saying to you listeners, you get a lot more with honey than with sugar or salt. How's it going?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Shelby. Bye-bye. All right, next up, Tammy, you ready?
I am.
Okay, what's your thoughts, Tammy?
Hey, Simone, thanks for letting me on. I have a question, and you probably went over this. I'm watching you on my phone, and I can't really make out what that says. Okay. Do they break down, like, I know that theirs is a little different because it's a result of it's child support as a result of a divorce.
It doesn't matter though. The numbers are the same, divorce or not, but go ahead.
Okay. Are they taking into consideration what her monthly expenses are? Or are they based solely going off of her income and his income?
Only income. They don't take into consideration his expenses or hers.
That is crazy. Here in Minnesota, they take expenses are going to affect. That is crazy, because if they were married, how old is this kid? Like 2 or 3 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I do see a line here. It says not line 8, adjustment for additional expenses paid. It's got $62 there. So I'm going to go ahead and say they're really not. Even adjustment for work-related childcare, healthcare, I think they would take into consideration. Yeah, if they were listed, or at least here, there's lines for them, but there's like $62 here. It's nothing.
Because if this kid is like, I don't know, however old the kid is. 5 years old now. 5 years old. Okay, when they're together, so they were together, they've only been divorced for a year or so, right?
Yeah, like 2. 2.
It seems like yesterday, because I've been hearing about this forever. But but it's like when they were together, they have their routine. This child is used to a certain school that their kids aren't going to the same school my kids are going to. And when they get divorced, my kids shouldn't be going to the same school as this kid. You know what I mean? It's not.
Right.
That's not fair at all. That I really don't understand how they don't take into account monthly expense, the lifestyle that the child has become accustomed to.
Right.
I
So they
don't
really are. Yeah.
understand that.
So
And
they
his
really
whole thing
are.
is, his problem is just trying to stick it to her. He don't give a damn about that kid. And that's the sad
Yep.
part.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Thank you so much, Tammy. I
But
really
thanks for
appreciate that.
sharing with us.
Absolutely.
Take
All right. Savoir. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Savoir, are you ready? And I also see Glam Girl is there. Let's see. Savoir, are you ready? I'm going to leave you here because I think you'll be ready. Oh, there you go. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I didn't know I was muted. Sorry.
That's all right.
I
Thank you guys
love.
for those super chats.
I want to thank you for your new channel. I love it. I saw you with Mims, and I was like, I gotta follow her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
My question is this. First of all, I love Tyrese. He used to go to my church with me, and
Oh.
that was
So he
his
does know the Lord.
Yeah, he does know the Lord, but sometimes, he has SMI, serious mental illness. So I got to give him grace, please. Give him a little grace.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pray for him.
I have to say, this is ridiculous. Like, if you're making $275,000, you can't give your child at least 10%?
That's what I'm thinking.
I am so disappointed in him, and I haven't seen him in church for the last 2-3 years. So I'm thinking he need to come back to his senses.
Come to the Lord.
Any sense?
Come to the Lord.
Oh, none. I'm like, dude. When you start breaking it down, I said, oh my God, because even I did child support when I was with my ex. We were together, and I was like, what? We need to actually settle some stuff. And I was out of state of Illinois. It's 20% no matter what. Okay, 20%.
Yes,
so I don't
20%.
Thank you.
Oh, and mind you, you guys, for the older daughter, according to these documents, he's not even on child support for her.
And that's another thing I was going to ask you. Do they in Georgia? Do they take into place? The judge did ask my ex this. Do you have other children? And he did have an older son, right? And the judge said, are you paying child support for your older son? He says, no, but I still pay. And she said, well, as long as he's not under child support under law, he does not count. I was like,
exactly. That's what it is. So this man is not on child support for the older daughter who got the Rolls Royce. Hell, maybe that's why she got the Rolls Royce. For me, if you don't give me child support and you give me a Rolls Royce for a 9-year-old, did you see that part? I don't know if you saw that part.
Guess what? I did see that part. For Shayla, I would have sold it if I was a mother. I'm going to sell this.
Yeah, baby, take all the pictures you want in this. That's cute. And it's going to the auto auction because this is, and I'm going to explain to you why this isn't making sense.
Yeah, I would have just been like, you know what? You don't need a Rolls Royce, honey. We'll go buy you a Beamer, a G-Wagon, and we're going to put the rest of the money into a trust. Like, you can see the mental, you know what I'm saying? It's there. Like, he doesn't.
For sure.
He is not, and he owns it. He says that he has mental illness. But at the end of the day, where his mother? Who raised you? Like TK Kirkland says, who raised you?
Wolves. That's who did. It was some wolves raised them. But
vibes. I'm just like, dude, you were
not. If you're about ready in the background, continue. I just thought she got disconnected.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving weird vibes. I'm gonna pray for him. I hope that he would at least consider giving his daughter 10%, if not 20%, that you do in Georgia. Like, just there. And then even if that Shayla is not under child support, the mother is not
right.
What I can say.
Well, thank you so much for your commentary. And the last comment we'll have for today comes from Glam Girl. How you doing?
Hey, Simone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay,
I can hear you.
Perfect. This is my first time ever calling in, so love the show. I was just motivated to call in after.
Oh no, I just lost you. You might have accidentally hit mute. Let's see. How did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yes. So I lost you. You said this is your first time. You were motivated to call in. Why?
Yes, after the guy was saying how important it is to be nice and not nasty to your
Mhm,
baby daddy
mhm,
or whatever, your
mhm.
ex-husband, I have never had any kids, so it's not coming from a spiteful place or anything like that. But I just feel like that's a crazy misogynistic mindset. And I just wanted to say that I think for the women that are listening, it's really important not to get sucked into that mindset and do what look for what is legally appropriate for your ex-husband or the father of your kids
Right.
to be paying, because I know a lot of people who have gotten sucked into that, where a lot of times they're not even asking for child support because they're looking for the father of their kids to be involved in the children's lives,
Yeah,
and they feel like,
yeah.
yeah, they feel like, well, if I look for child support, the dad isn't gonna be there, and
That's
it will end up being
crazy.
detrimental to the kids. Yeah, and what happens a lot of times is the fathers who want to be a part of their children's lives will always be a part of their children's lives.
That's true.
So
That's
the
true.
ones, yeah, the ones
The ones who
who
didn't want
are
to do it will find an excuse.
exactly, they will always find an excuse. And a lot of
Mhm.
times you still don't put them on child support, and you think that they're going to now be involved. They're not even weekend dads. They are, sporadically here and there. The same way the
Mhm.
guy was even saying, I throw her a few bucks or whatever he said. I give her a few
Yeah.
dollars. Like, is that worth it to get a few dollars here and there than
Mhm.
for you to really go to court and get what is rightfully your child, so that their life is set up for them to, really prosper and
Right.
have that solid foundation. So that's all I called in to say. I'm hoping that
Thank
nobody fell
you.
for that.
Oh, we got one. It looks like we have a gentleman that called in, so I'll pull you down. Thank you, Glam. And Richard, if you're ready, we'll close out with a comment from a man. Why not? Let's see.
Well, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What are your thoughts,
Okay.
Richard?
Well, my thoughts is this. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I love, females. My mom is the one. I love women, but this is my thing. I had a situation. This is what happened with me.
Tell
And
me.
believe it or not, child support, you technically, they get millions of dollars for putting you on child support. They get
Who is
millions.
the they? The government?
The local government. Child support is contract. It's a contract in this federal
Okay.
law. I
Okay.
filed a federal lawsuit back in 2017. I
Ooh.
live in the state of Georgia. I filed against the state of Georgia in the Middle District Court in Macon, Georgia. I filed a lawsuit against child support because
Oh.
of their antics. They was
Okay.
doing fraudulent things.
Oh.
And I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. You can look it up. My case got cited on Google. You can go to Google Scholar and look up
Okay.
Hall versus Hall,
Okay.
2017, Middle District, Georgia, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I
Okay.
mean, every man should take care of their child, no matter if somebody telling you to do it or not.
Right. And how did your case work out?
Well, the thing is, they dropped my case because they didn't want to get exposed. They wanted me to
Oh,
drop the case. And like I told you, if you go to
I'm gonna look it up.
And look
Mhm.
up Hall, Hall versus Hall,
Okay.
2017 in the Middle District Court of Georgia in
Federal
Macon,
court?
Georgia. Federal court.
Okay,
I
make it.
filed a federal lawsuit. But like I said, I don't need no one to tell me I need to pay for my kid. I mean, you want your kid to go to school. Like you said, she
Right.
should have got she should have whatever, in the language or her divorce, she should have got that in her language, because all kids should deserve education, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you sued, did you sue the child support? Like, did you sue the government, or was it like
I
suing your
sued.
ex-partner?
I'm just gonna say this. I sued the state. I sued the
Oh,
state and the
boom.
local government.
Got
I
him.
sued the state and the local government because, like I said, if you go and look up a case called Blessing versus Freestone,
Okay.
child support is not meant for the kid or the other side either. They
Okay.
get millions of dollars. They are contractors. And
Mm.
this ain't, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm not Muslim. I'm not none of that. I'm just letting people know, understand the law. I don't try to put this out to everybody because I'm not a lawyer. I don't
Yeah.
practice law, but I
Right.
am intelligent enough to understand the law. And so, but I do take care of my kid without
There we
people
go.
telling me what to do. And I'll make sure that my son is getting more than what I need because I got a college degree. I want my kid to be better than me when it get older. He get older.
Yes. Which one did you go to?
Well, I graduated from Georgia Southwestern State University, and I'm about to start my master's program in January at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia.
All right then. Are you going to study child support?
Excuse me. I'm not going through the child support. I did it for myself, but when I saw this subject, I just had to kind of say something about the matter because Tyrese is a big baby. He do always whine and crying and go to social media. But the fact is this, they got a child involved. The child didn't ask to be here.
You're right.
And
absolutely.
so, most men should take care of their responsibility because you do have deadbeats now. You have deadbeats out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are glad, Richard, that you are not one of them. Thank you so much for calling in and giving this male perspective. And
Yes,
I'm going
ma'am.
to pull you down, but thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe, and
I
you
sure
continue
will.
to follow me on the channel. Thank you, Richard.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Y'all, let me tell you something. I'm over here reading this chat and these comments. Y'all going to hell. Y'all are going to hell. You're going to hell quickly. So here's the summary of what happened. We broke down today on Girl, Is That Legal? If you're watching live, scroll on back to the beginning. You can always schedule a consult with me, Attorney Simone, at SimoneRedwine.com. Here you can book with me. You can also get my my book, which is Background Checks 101, how to find out who the heck you're actually dealing with. But also what we broke down is that Tyrese told the court that he earns $270,000 per month, but that he feels that he should only have to pay $3,500 a month for child support, even though for the older child that he's not on child support for, he gifted her in the 9th grade with a phantom Rolls Royce. So, or with a Rolls Royce. I could have the model incorrect. Anyway, this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He has been arrested. He's going to have to pay the $73,000 it is now to get his behind out or put up a bond because he says he's appealing the verdict. He feels that she should only have to pay $3,500 a month, which is about 1% of his monthly income. And from that, his ex-wife is supposed to, pay for half of daycare, private school, all of the above, including medical expenses. And this is what he thinks is reasonable. So thanks for tuning in to another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? With your host, your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. And we had an episode slated for later today, but honestly, guys, this wore me out. So we will do a legal hot topics later in the week, probably tomorrow. Tune in then. Hit that notification button so you don't miss a thing. Take care.